Hello friends, welcome back to the Infologs YouTube channel. In today's video we are going to see how we can manage the exception in ASP.NET Core. So if we talk about our previous video tutorials in which we have seen some important topics like dependency injections, how we can do that in ASP.NET Core, how we can set the default files in ASP.NET Core. If you wanted to get more videos on the ASP.NET Core, you can visit this channel where we have already loaded some important videos related to the ASP.NET Core. So here I have just loaded the channel. Okay, under the playlist you'll find the Infologs videos series. Okay, here you will see the important videos related to the ASP.NET Core, just like from initial stage, how we can set up the environment for the ASP.NET Core to the advanced level. Okay, so in today's video tutorial we are going to see how we can do the exception handling. For that I have taken a reference from infologs.in website where I found the list of important topics related to the ASP.NET Core. So currently we are on this 15th number article. Okay, that is how we can do the exception handling. So without wasting time, let's jump to the Visual Studio. So here, this is the project that we are already maintaining throughout this video series. Okay, so if you notice and if you are watching my earlier videos, we have already talked about the exception handling in ASP.NET Core, but on a in the series of a middleware, how we can control the middleware. In that case we have seen some basic exception handling as well. Okay, so today we are going to see a little more detail about the exception handling, right? So here you can see the simple exception, how the ASP.NET Core handles the exception. Okay, and what are the middlewares which is provided by default in the ASP.NET Core SDK, right? So I'll start from the default, what ASP.NET Core offers in the default project. If you open up the startup.cs file, here you'll see under the configuration section, if the environment is developer, then the use developer exception, and there are some configurations. So temporarily I just remove all this stuff and use the default one, okay, which is coming by default. And there is a, if the development is not available, then we should go for the, not we should go for, by default the ASP.NET Core provides this way if you load the MVC project in the reserve. Okay, so now what we are going to do, we'll throw a separate exception as per this article and we'll see how it behaves. Okay, so here just after this and before the static files serving, I'll add use, or we can say yes, use, and here we have to pass some delegate, as we already know, that is the context, and next then we need a block of code, and here we'll throw new divide, sorry, throw new exception, custom exception thrown. Okay, so what should be the behavior of this? So let's test it first and then we'll discuss on that. So I'll running this project. Unable to connect to the web server as expressed. What the problem is? Exit. Okay, let me check the properties of the project. This is express. Oops. I'll again go with the default because I wanted to run in process. Okay, and don't worry guys, I have already published an article related to the in process and out of process. I have searched on the internet and found a very important and very beautiful articles, so I have taken some notes from there and also added that article on infologs.in. So if you wanted to know more about in process and out of process hosting models, you can go ahead on the core section and you can find that article, right? Sooner I am going to create a new videos or separate videos on the in process and out of process hosting model. Okay, so here we got the custom exception, but I'll make it continue. So here we'll see a nice page where I can see the unhandled exception occurred while processing the request, and the stack trace with the default information where is the error thrown. Okay, and if there are some query strings and cookies available, then it shows over here. Okay, let's do one thing. I'll make a slash my query equals to 2. Okay, we got the exception. Again on the same line we got the exception. I'll go to the query. Okay, if you notice, the query string information over here is available. As soon as if we have some cookies, then cookies information will also listed in this section. Okay, and whatever the headers we are using, request headers, all the information also available here. Okay, how we are getting this exception page? Okay, so just focus what I'm telling you guys. So whenever the request process pipelining is configured, okay, so if the environment is development, so let us check whether the environment is development environment or it's an production environment. Okay, sorry, so debug section. So there is no environment is listed in the environment variable section, so you don't find anything in appsettings.json file, but still we'll check it. So we don't have that variable. So next point is we have to check into our property window, advanced system settings, environment variables. Okay, see, ASP.NET Core development. Okay, so in our earlier video tutorials we have seen how these environment variables can be helpful. So if you wanted to get more knowledge on that, you can watch the earlier videos in this ASP.NET Core video series. Okay, so now we know that the environment is developer, that means the ASP.NET Core pipeline, middleware pipeline, will be configured with this middleware use developer exception. That means whenever any exception comes, the .NET Core framework automatically uses this middleware to display this HTML page. Okay, this will all be handled because of this use developer exception page. Now what we'll do, we'll change the okay, so now we don't need this developer environment, so I'll make it comment. Okay, and I'll use the use exception handler. So again we'll go and restart this process. we got the error. Okay, is currently unable to handle this request. 500 internal server error. Okay, so if you notice here, use exception handler. Use exception handler. There is an error, but under the solution explorer we have pages, and under the pages we have an error.cs HTML page. Okay, but here we didn't come here. Why? Just think of it. Because all these middleware were not registered in the request pipeline. Okay, before it's the error occurs. So what I'll do, I'll just comment this section, okay, and ask request pipeline to get registered with all these middlewares, including the routings and authorization, and as well as the resor pages. Okay, under the resor pages I'll create an exception. So here on the index page I'll create an exception like this. Okay, now let's test it, what happens. Okay, now we got the clear message. Okay, so these kind of errors can be displayed on the production servers. So the important information like stack trace and all that information will hide from the end user, and basically there is no sense to show all that important information to the end user, because end user doesn't don't want to know about what are the query string, what are the header requests, what is the stack trace. Okay, if you are going to expose all this information to the end user, that will be security threat to your web application, right? So here you can customize your own information, like hey users, there is some technical issues we are facing while processing your request, please our engineering team is working on this issue to fix it. This kind of message we can provide to the on this page. Okay, so now next point what we are going to do is, again I'll open up this. Okay, so now we are going to see the detailed stack information. Okay, so I'll again run this so we can get to know, and in the next we are going to configure some options in this. So here 1 2 3 4 5, okay, 5 lines above and 5 lines after the exception. So now what we are going to do, we are configuring these options here. So what I'll do is, for the more information, what is it accepting, developer exception page option. So developer exception page option, developer exception page, sorry, developer exception page options equals new, and then developer page options dot source code line is equal to 10. Okay, and then we are passing that instance over here. So what I am trying to do is, okay, if you notice we have only 5 lines above the error and the 5 lines down the error. Okay, now I wanted to configure all these lines, it should be on maximum, like whatever the number I am giving to the this developer exception object, it should be like that. Okay, so as soon as I run this application, now we'll get to know how many lines of code we can display. Okay, so here I'll go. Okay, so now we are getting some more elaborative code over here. Okay, so this way you can also configure some of the source code lines and then providers and all that information from here. Like here is we have a file provider. Okay, what are the name, and you can take the information of these providers. Okay, so next is use developer exception, use exception handler, and there is one more thing, that is rewrite exception. Okay, yeah, got it. Okay, if you notice, let me do one thing again. I'll comment all this code, and let's see the exact error. Okay, so again I'll go to the expect. Okay, test. Okay, 404 not found. See. Okay, here if you see, we have an index. We are requesting the index page, but we got the error, and then error of 500, internal server error, and then we are redirected to the error view as mentioned over here. Okay, we have a error dot result view, and as soon as we got the error in the index.cs HTML, it automatically handles the error and redirect us to the exception handler, that is error page. Okay, so now here is one more method, that is use status code with redirects. Okay, let's see what happens if we use this middleware. Okay, okay, we got the error, that is internal server 500. So again I'll go to the network. Success. See, if you notice, I'm trying to access the index1 which is not available in our project. Okay, so here we just have a privacy, index, and error. Three views we have already created in our project. Actually it's a default project, that's why these three views are already available. Okay, and now here I'm going to access to index.2. okay, just you have to notice over here under the network tab, I'll just hit enter. Okay, as soon as index2 is requested, the ASP.NET throws the status with 302. What is 302? So we found it, but we have redirected it to the error page. Okay, so our ASP.NET Core framework is saying that index 2 is requested, but we didn't get enough, we didn't found index.2 HTML page in our project, so it will automatically redirects to the error page and throws this 200 OK message to the browser, and browser redirects it to the error page. Okay, but if you think in the real-time project, okay, so let's I'm trying to access something like this, like let's say my project name is infologs.in, then I'm going to access under the ASP.NET Core category, show me the article number 87. Okay, and article number is 87 is not available, and you are redirecting it to the 88 numbers. Okay, or you can redirect it to the not found page. Okay, but doing like this, what we should do, so we should keep this URL as it is, and here the message should be like this, like the requested article is not found, the infologs.in, click here to continue. Okay, click here to visit the home page or something like that kind of message should be there, so the end user will be more clear that requested URL is not available, or the article is removed, or the article is not published on this URL. Okay, so the message, end user's message will get clear. So but in our case, what is happening, so whenever I trying to access some not found page, like something that kind of name, but it automatically redirects us to error page. Okay, why this is redirecting? Because in the middleware we are saying use status code pages with the redirects. Okay, so automatically it redirects to this error page, right? Okay, and to be more clear, let's say 404, what it happens now. Run. Okay, so here our internal server error is occurred, and we didn't handle that exception. Actually we are handling the 404 not found the document, something like that. Okay, so here I'll again try to access the index 2 dot or index 2. Okay, it automatically resends us to 404, right? So whatever the name is. Now what we are going to use, we have one more, use status code page with ReExecute. So let's see what. Okay, add the status code page middleware to the pipeline, specifies that the response body should be generated by re-executing the request pipeline using the alternate path. This path may contain a 0 placeholder of the status code. Okay, not an issue. So let's see the differences between these two. So again I have to access the index 2 dot, nothing need to dot. Okay, what is running behind the scene? Okay, currently we didn't see the error error action over here. Okay, but still we are, whatever we are sending index to, the URL is not rewritten, but the output is different. Okay, so here I am again requesting for the index 2. Okay, so behind the action there is a change. As soon as I hit enter on the index 2.2 page request, it shows that 404 not found, but the error mentioned page is processed and rendered over here. right? This becomes more sense to the end user, because what we are trying to say end user, hey, index 2 is not available, or not available, or it has been removed, or it is not found in our project. Okay, whatever the message that is, depending on yours, you can put the uh, create a separate page or create a proper page to show the message to the end user. Okay, I hope you guys have understood these two different use status code with redirects and with re-execute. Okay, what is the difference between this? Okay, just for summary, whenever we use the status code page with the redirects, it automatically, whenever the document is not found into whole project, then it will automatically redirect to the mentioned action, or we can say the mentioned view. Okay, and the URL is re-returned to the mentioned view's name, like in our case that is error. And if you go and use the use status code pages with the re-execute middleware, then the requested URL will not get changed, but the output, okay, but the output will get changed. It will be display the error message whatever we mentioned as a parameter in this pipeline. Okay, here is some one method, this use status code pages. Okay, you can put your different pages over here, like for the let's say I wanted a separate page for 404, I wanted a separate page for 302, and something like that, depending upon your status code. You can, or you can also mention over here, right? Okay, and one thing path, okay, that's okay. Okay, and again I am opening up this code, so, and I'll comment it, and I'll put the basic code, use exception handler, and the handler name is error. Okay, we have also use exception, sorry, use name exception handler option equals to new options, exception handler option dot exception handler and exception handling path. Okay, stack trace, you will get all URI hash values. Okay, all the information is available here. Okay, and then okay, so we have covered the standard exception message. Okay, in the currently we are using the, as you guys know, the .NET framework, sorry, not .NET framework, it's a ASP.NET Core 3.1. so this article is related to the older one, that's why we need to use these diagnostic packages and all that stuff to use this exception handler and all that, right? We have already used the developer exception page. We have also seen some options over here. Okay, so use exception handler, that is also covered. Then okay, so most of the things for the exception handling we have covered in this article. In the next video tutorial we are going to see there are some few important middlewares, like use default and use static files. We actually seen in our previous video tutorial how we can set the default page in ASP.NET Core. There are some extensions also, and how we can control the or how we can serve the static files outside the www root folder, right? In the next video tutorial we are going to merge these two articles, specifically saying the article number 16 and 17, how to serve static files in ASP.NET Core, okay, and serve static files from other folders. Okay, So in the next video tutorial we are going to see this too, a little more detailed section. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video tutorial. If you think it's worthy enough to share with your friends, please share it with your friends, or you can also put these videos on your social media platform, so anyone who is trying to learn ASP.NET Core will get help from that. Okay, so here in the there are some other references for this video on this YouTube channel. So if you wanted to go for iOS platform, if you want to go for Android platform, that is available in this Infologs channel. I hope you have enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. This is Abhishek Bedre signing out. Bye bye. And yeah, the motto is our never stop learning. Keep learning. Thank you. Bye bye.